Hello and welcome back. Today is your first lesson and today we are going to get your Arduino to blink. So what you're going to need is you're going to need to open your box and pull out your Arduino Uno. That looks like this. Next, you're going to pull out your USB cable. It looks like this. The first thing you're going to do is plug it in. So you're going to plug in the USB-A into the computer and the other end into your Arduino. You should hear a nice noise to let you know that it is connected. Next, Mr. Pro is going to walk us through how to program it on your Arduino executable.
All right, first off, you want to go ahead and open up the Arduino Ide program that we installed earlier. And here you'll see there are two functions defined for you. The first one is called setup. This runs once at the very beginning when the Arduino first turns on. The second is called loop, because this one runs over and over again, like in a loop that never ends, for the entire duration that the Arduino is turned on. So first off, let's go ahead and go to the very top and then hit enter to make a couple of new lines at the top. And we're going to add a comment. Comments are little remarks in the code that don't actually run. They're just notes for yourself to help you understand what's going on. So to type a comment, go ahead and do 2 forward slashes at the beginning of the line, and then whatever you would like to say for the comment. All right, and once you have the comments up there, you can go into the setup function. Now, the LED on the Arduino is attached to a digital output pin. We need to begin by telling the Arduino once it turns on, I would like you to use this pin because I'm going to be sending a signal on you later. To do that, we use a function called pin mode. And then it takes 2 parameters. The first is the pin that we want to use. You can use numbers for the pins, or some of the pins have special names, like the LED built-in pin. And then you put a comma to separate this from the second parameter. The second parameter in this case is output in all capital letters, because we are telling it we want you to send something out on this pin, not we want you to listen for something on this pin. So go ahead and close up the parentheses and make sure to put a semicolon at the end of the line. And that's all we need in the setup function. We've told the Arduino to expect to be sending a signal out on the LED built-in pin. So now if we go down to the loop function, in order to actually send a signal on the pin, we use the digital write function. Since this is a digital pin, we can write one of 2 things, a high signal or a low signal. So the digital write function takes 2 parameters. The first is the pin number. Again, we're using the LED built-in pin, which has that special name, and then either a high or a low. We want to start by sending a high signal, which is just high in all capital letters. Go ahead and close the parenthesis and put a semicolon at the end of the line again. And let's add a comment at the end of this line so we remember what it does. So at the end of the line, you can do 2 forward slashes, and then anything after this is a comment. We can say this line turns on the LED. Now, we could write a low signal again to turn it off, but if we do that, this loop keeps running as fast as it possibly can. So it'll be turning the LED on and off just as fast as it possibly can, so fast that we won't even be able to see it, and that's not what we want. What we want instead is for it to turn it on, wait for 1 second, and then turn it off, and then wait for another second before turning it back on. So in order to make it wait for 1 second, we'll use the delay function. The delay function takes 1 parameter, and it's the number of milliseconds that we want it to wait. 1,000 milliseconds makes 1 second, so we give it 1,000, close the parentheses, and give it a semicolon to end the line. We can add another comment to this line that says we're delaying for 1 second. Then on the next line, we'll call digital write once again. So far we have sent the high signal to turn the LED on, and we've waited 1 second, so now we want to turn the LED off. we're still using the LED built-in pin, but this time we want to send a low signal to turn the LED off. Now, if we stopped here, we turn the LED on, wait for 1 second and turn it off, but then it jumps back up to the beginning of the loop function. So it turns it off and then immediately turns it back on without waiting. So we need to tell it to wait 1 more second so it actually stays off. We do that with the delay function once again. All right, we've finished typing our first Arduino program. You can click the check mark in the top left of the Arduino Ide that says verify. This will prompt you to save the sketch that you've just written. And it will also check the syntax. So if you mistyped anything, it'll try to warn you ahead of time. In this case, you can see Melissa misspelled the word built-in and LED built-in, and the Arduino Ide caught it for her. Think of it like a spell checker, but for programming. And once you correct any mistakes, you can click the verify checkbox 1 more time. And it says done compiling down at the bottom. So we know our code is likely all good to go. After this, you can click the upload button. And this actually uploads a compiled version of this code to the Arduino board, and it'll start running. And it says done uploading. So now you can see on our Arduino board, there's a little orange LED blinking on and off. It goes on for a second and then goes off for 1 second.